So children, very easy topic to start off with. Uh, all of you know what are plants, right? So very quickly, just let's go through. The first word that I use is they are autotrophs. Okay. The second word that we know that they are structured living organisms. We will take up each of them as soon as we have
It's
finished
4 o'clock.
Pointing them down, finish pointing out all their properties. Structured living organisms. Now, when I say living, just brushing up, it has all the characteristics of living things which you must have already studied in your second and third standards. So we say plants do respire, plants do reproduce. Sorry children, there is something wrong with my words. You will have to just bear with the small writing up here. Okay, they do respire, they do reproduce, they do excrete, and they have all the other characteristics of a living thing, right? So when I say plants respire, and whenever we say something, is undergoing a certain function, there is always an organ which is doing it. So what we are going to be dealing with is the structure which helps the plant respire. So we will be studying the whole structure of a leaf, and in the leaf, like all of you know, we have the stomata. So we will be doing this, okay? This is just a brief startup about what we are going to be doing. Yes, Nikita, I know, I'll be doing that. It's not autograph, it's autotroph, okay? Now, we also know that plants reproduce. So what are we going to learn in the reproduction of plants? We are going to be learning the structure of a flower. I'm very sorry for the little mess up on the board today, okay? And in the flower, we will be learning the processes of pollination, and we will be learning fertilization. Okay, we will be learning seed dispersal and fruit production. Okay, this is all a part of, what is called as sexual reproduction. Okay, I will explain what all of them mean one by one. And also we will be learning what is asexual reproduction, and that is what is vegetative propagation of plants. I'm just briefing you up with the topics that we are going to be dealing in the topic of plants today. One way a plant can excrete is through transpiration. The other thing is by sap and crystals formations in plants. Okay, I will be talking about them later on. And food, I can see a majority people asking me what are autotrophs, ma'am. So coming, patience. Okay, yes. Now that is the key thing about a plant. Okay, the only thing which differentiates a plant from the rest of the living things is that it is autotrophic. Now, what do you mean by that? Let's split the word. All of you know what auto means. Auto is something when somebody can do something on their own. Okay, so own. And when I talk about tropism, it means nutrition. Okay, so now children, can this make sense to you? Can Tanshiya, Rashmi ma'am, can you just unmute Tanshia for a minute?
Yeah, sure.
From the word that I have written, autotrophs, own nutrition, yes, like auto rickshaw, yes. Can you tell me what does a word autotroph mean?
Ma'am, does it mean that it gets its own nutrition?
Exactly. These are the only living organisms that can make their own nutrition. So the key thing, which I'm sure all of you will say, ma'am, please don't teach us. We already know it, is photosynthesis. This is the only category of living organisms that can undergo photosynthesis and make their own nutrition. Are everybody clear with the word autotrophs now? The number of doubts you had? Okay? Yes, organisms that can make their own food are autotrophs, and plants are the only organisms that can make their own food. All right? So, if you've now got a brief of what ma'am is going to talk about, let's start with the first most important topic, which is maybe photosynthesis. Okay, what is sap? Sap is not sapling, sweetheart. Sap is prachita. Sap is the liquid which is secreted from maybe a stem and the leaf, which is an excretory product. Okay, this is from which the rubber is made. Have you seen how rubber is made? They make a cut in the tree and they keep those vessels from which the liquid keeps coming out. That liquid is what is sap, and it is nothing but an excretory product of the plant. Got it? Yes? Cool. Okay. Cute smile. All right. Okay. So let's come to photosynthesis. Now, when we are discussing photosynthesis or any function of a plant, we first always start off with what does it. Children, there are few things that you should always remember when you're learning science, okay? A what of it, a how of it, and when of it, okay? So today when we take up the topic of photosynthesis, we shall learn these three things. Children, can we please stick on to our topic? Please do not go into other topics right now. We will be talking about saplings and germination later on. Please concentrate on the topic right now, right? So that you don't miss out any point, okay? Fine, thank you. Right, okay. So let's start with the photosynthesis of plants. So what does the photosynthesis? Please write down the answers in the chat if you know which is the part of the plant which can be photosynthetic. Is it only the leaf? Is it only the leaves? Think again. Think again. Think. Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay, it's not the root part. Okay, fine. All right. So children, I get all of you feel it is the leaf, which is not wrong. Okay, but than the leaf, it is any structure of a plant which is green and which has the pigment chlorophyll in it. Okay, so if you have seen, okay, the baby plants, like you have been talking about the saplings, in the saplings you can see that the stem is also green. So it is also that the stem can photosynthesize. So any part of the plant which is green can photosynthesize because it has the chlorophyll pigment in it. Yes. So that's now we come to the right answer. Yes, it's the chlorophyll. Perfect. Okay. So what is chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is nothing but a certain pigment. It's a chemical. And why is chlorophyll important? Is chlorophyll the one that is doing photosynthesis? No. The only job of the photosynthesis of the chlorophyll is to trap the sunlight. Have all of you seen solar cells, the solar lights which you see on the roads, or you've seen the solar cells? You know what the chlorophyll does? It's exactly doing like what the solar cell does. The solar cell or the plate of the solar cell, which has the chemical, is only trapping the sun's energy. This is the only job of chlorophyll. And such an important job that if chlorophyll is not there, there will be no photosynthesis and there will be no autotrophism. Right? Perfect. Bang on, Rohan. Yes, photosynthesis is light. Photo is light and synthesis is making. So let's put this whole thing in one line and understand it. Okay? Making their own nutrition in the presence of light is photosynthesis. Okay? Right. Okay? And it is the chlorophyll which is helping to do that. And now, how is it done? It is done when we just can't have, like I said, the plant is a structured living organism. Now, what did you mean when I said structured living organism? You understood what living organism means, right? That's not difficult. Now, what do you mean by structured? The plant has different structures in it which does different functions. And how is it important? If we did not have the roots, we would have never got the first. Now, I hope all of you have understood the word. It's just not leaves. It's any green structure part of the plant which has the pigment chlorophyll. Clear, all of you? Okay, good. So now let's understand how. Like I was saying, the structure of a root. Now, why is root important? It's not only important, like all of you already know, to hold the plant upright in the soil. Yes, that's an important function. But than that, it is to absorb water. I hope all of you know H2O is water. I'm sure I have a very bright and smart group of kids. Yes, okay. Do you know it is water? So what is the main function of the root? Is to absorb water. Shrey, please keep your doubts on. I will take your doubts once I'm finished with the whole topic of photosynthesis. Okay? Yes, okay. So it is the one which absorbs water. Like I had discussed, plants also respire, and there is a organ called as the stomata, which is present in the leaves, which are the ones that are absorbing the carbon dioxide. Hope all of you know CO2 is carbon dioxide. Okay. This is the carbon dioxide. So the first structure, the root, is giving the first ingredient for the food, which is water. The leaf, which has the stomata, is giving the second ingredient, that is carbon dioxide. And it is our key superstar, our chlorophyll, which is trapping the sunlight. Now, children, have you ever thought, why is sunlight so important? What do you do in actually photosynthesis? All that you are doing is just mixing water and carbon dioxide. Can't you do it at home? I'll get a glass of water, I'll just put carbon dioxide in it, and even I will make glucose. Have you ever thought, why is sunlight so important? Okay, anybody, you can just raise your hand. I can just maybe unmute you. Okay, fine. Basically, it is yes mandala. Let me just, Rashmi ma'am, can you just, it's Bhargav mandala. Can you just unmute Bhargav?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's Bhargav mandala. Did you raise your hand? Or you were stretching, getting bored in class? Okay, yes, Bhargav. Can you just try to tell me what is the importance of sunlight in photosynthesis?
Ma'am, because will give solar energy, ma'am.
Very good. And what does the solar energy do?
Ma'am, with the solar energy, plants make up its food, ma'am.
Very good, Bhargava. But yes, you are right. Now, what I was trying to tell you is, why is sunlight important? Sunlight is very, very important. You just can't take a glass of water, put carbon dioxide and make glucose. Have you ever tried it at home? Do you think it is going to be possible? It's never going to be possible. It is only going to be possible, like what Bhargav told us, it is solar energy. And it is this energy which is going to break up the hydrogen and oxygen of the water. It will break carbon and oxygen of the carbon dioxide. It will mix it together and ultimately make this, which is glucose. So basically, what is it doing? It is breaking up the ingredient. It's like when mama is making some curry in your house, so maybe she's making bengan bhatta. So what does she take? She takes bengan, she chops it, and then maybe she puts tomatoes and she chops it. She mixes it together, she puts it on the stove, and ultimately there is a totally new bengan bhatta that is made. Correct? So if you had just chopped your bengan, if you had chopped your tomatoes and put it in a bowl, would you have made bengan bhatta? No. When did the Bengan Bharta happen? Only when you gave this sunlight or solar energy. Correct? Right? So now did you understand what is the importance of the sunlight? Correct? Yes. So this sunlight is the one which is chemically converting water and carbon dioxide into glucose. And yes, the most important thing, releasing out oxygen. Okay, Arush, I'll just repeat this whole thing again. Water, which is absorbed by the root. So I should be repeating the whole process of photosynthesis again to all of you. The process of making glucose or food out of water, which is absorbed by the roots from the soil, and with carbon dioxide, which is absorbed. Yes, children, I'm repeating it. Please listen to it carefully. Okay, the process of photosynthesis is making the own food in the presence of sunlight. Okay, now in this process, water which is absorbed by the root from the soil mixes chemically with carbon dioxide, which is absorbed by the leaf in the presence of sunlight to make glucose and oxygen. Dhavan and Arush, now did you understand what is photosynthesis? Okay, clear? This is the loudest I can be. Okay, cool. All right. Yes. So what I was just trying to tell you is the importance of sunlight is to mix them chemically. It is just not mixing them like mixing salt and water in a glass and making salt solution. Okay. So this chemical reaction is only possible because of sunlight. Okay. Cool. All right. So with this, did all of you understand the process of photosynthesis? Now, children, coming to the Olympiad point of view, this reaction is extremely important. Okay, you have to know that it's water, hydrogen in the presence of chlorophyll and sunlight, making glucose and releasing oxygen. Fine. All right. Okay. So once we are done with photosynthesis, we understood the how of photosynthesis. And when is photosynthesis done? Very simple. All of you will know that photosynthesis is only done in the presence of sunlight, correct? But there is a second phase of photosynthesis which is done in the dark, which is not needed for you right now, okay? So we will not be getting into that part of photosynthesis which is done in the dark. For you right now at this level, you will only have to understand that photosynthesis is always done in presence of sunlight, okay? So now coming to, if you've understood that it's making its food, now let's come and quickly understand how does a plant respire. Okay, a plant respires through the leaf as it has special cells in it, which is the stomata. Okay, Now let's try to understand stomata first. And before we understand stomata, we need to understand the leaf. Okay, because where is the stomata present? In the leaf. So, ma'am is not an artist. I might be very pathetic at my drawing, so please spare my drawing, okay? Fine, you can teach me drawing once our science classes are over. Okay, so this is the best leaf I can draw, right? Okay, so in the leaf, now this is an important topic for you. The leaf has a stalk, correct? And this stalk is what is called as the petiole. And what does the petiole do? It is the one which is attaching the leaf to the stem, to the branches, okay? And then there is one thick line through the leaf which passes through, and this is what is called as the midrib. Okay, today after class, what I would want all of you to do is just go out, maybe if you have a plant at home, just take a leaf out of it and see the parts of the leaf in it, okay? I want you to learn it practically, okay? So there is a midrib, and you would see that there are smaller, branches of this midrib. Okay, and these branches are what are also called the side veins of the leaf. Fine? Okay, promise me all of you are going to take a leaf and try to check the structures in a leaf. Okay, and children, when we start classes, let me know if all the leaves look the same. Okay, that we will be doing later. I don't think we'll have time today. So if you do, we will just discuss it. Okay, so this is the midrib, and this is what are called the side veins, and this is what is called as the margin of the leaf. What do you mean by margin? The edge of the leaf. And this is what is called as the tip of the leaf. Fine? And the leaf blade is what is called as the lamina. So if you can consider my hand to be the leaf, okay? This hand, my palm, is what is the lamina. This edge is what is called, it's the lamina. Check out the spelling, Arush, okay? It's not lamini, it's lamina, okay? The lamina is this flat part of my hand, and it is the edge, which is the margin of the leaf, okay? Now, this hand of mine is what is the petiole, which is attaching me to the body. So the petiole is the one which is attaching the leaf to the stem, okay? And you can look at these lines. The lines is what is the veins of the leaf, but the leaf has a central vein and it has side veins like this. I'm drawing Mendi in my hand, okay? So this is the side vein and the midrib of my hand. Cool? Okay, this is a question to all of you. The next class, tell me if you are going to be with me. Tell me if all leaves look like this. Oh wow, so Gita has already got a leaf with her. Very, very good, okay? Now when we go underneath underneath the leaf, there are similar structures, but the main structure which you cannot see with naked eyes, what I mean by naked eyes is you cannot see with your eyes, you need a microscope to see it, is the main organ which helps in respiration, and that is the stomata. What is the stomata? Do you think stomata is an organ of a plant? Is it an organ? Stomata is not an organ. You know what stomata is? No, stomata is just a hole. I'll tell you. Okay. Now, consider this to be the leaf. Now, if you are seeing it under the microscope, there is, if you see it under the microscope, you will see there are, most of you seem to be from the north, so you would know what is Rajma. There are two Rajma shaped or kidney bean shaped cells. And these two kidney bean shaped cells are what are called as the guard cells. Okay, so I will just show it to you. You consider, I cannot make a kidney bean out of my hand, but this is the best I can do, okay? Consider this to be one guard cell, consider this to be another guard cell, and when I join the two guard cells together, can you see there is a hole? That hole is the stomata, okay? Stomata is not an organ. Stomata is stomata is a hole between two guard cells. So when the guard cells open up, then the stomata, when the guard cells are tight, then the hole becomes big, and when they are loose, the holes close. Can you see it? When it's loose, it is closed, and when it becomes tight, it opens. So this is how the two guard cells keep working, okay? It's exactly like the way you are breathing, the opening and the closing of the stomata. You must have heard that there is opening and closing of the stomata. Okay, so this is the stomata which opens and closes, and these are the two guard cells which help in transportation of the gases. It takes in carbon dioxide during the day, and it is releasing out oxygen, and during the process of respiration it does the ulta. It takes in oxygen and releases out carbon dioxide.
It's for 30.
Okay? So this is what was respiration of plants. And along with this, okay,